Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's indoor adventure in the wild beyond the Witchlight, Part 3, the Witchlight Monarch. Today is January 2nd, 2022, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us again at patreon.com/indooradventures. Or let's say, as luck would have it, you already support us on Patreon. You already support us on Twitch and YouTube and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Guess what, buddy? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and we also have Tiamat masks. That's right, we got face masks with the symbol of Tiamat drawn upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf 1201, where all of the proceeds of those face masks end up going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to possibly help support a good cause or help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So, hey RJ, who you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and today I'm playing Vice, the Tiefling Rogue.
Hey everyone, I'm Sarah. I'll be playing Lowry Moon, the Hexblood Druid.
Howdy y'all, I'm Mediaflare, and I am going to be playing Pamferdam Roski, the Forest Gnome Artificer.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae. I'm going to be playing as Clout, the Tiefling Bard.
And hello, I am the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, it's been a couple weeks, but that's besides the point. We finished up a wonderful custard eating contest where our dear friend Pamferdam won a cupcake of invisibility. We ended up going to talk to a large tree, met up with a carousel, encountered Thaco, our absolutely wonderful former clown friend, as well as a few other individuals throughout the wilds, throughout the Witchlight Carnival. It was at that point that you all decided that you were going to go into the carnival itself during the big top extravaganza and try and win at carnivals, which you did. You won so greatly, in fact, that Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, the proprietors of the Witchlight Carnival, decided that they were going to invite you to their wagon to talk to you about some things that might be happening within the carnival, to discuss things with you, as well as to give a notice of termination of employment to their former Witchlight Carney, Clout. It was at that point that we ended last session, with them letting you know that there was an individual going about the carnival named Kettlesteam the Kenku, who seemed to be causing quite a bit of a disturbance. They haven't been able to catch them just yet, but they asked you if you could possibly take care of the issue. Now, as we all discussed in our Witchlight chat, take care is in some quotation marks, but this is still a carnival. There are still some, fun times happening, and Wizards of the Coast has said that with this adventure, combat is not entirely necessary. So, who knows? Maybe you won't have to kick the shit out of some bird. Only time will tell. But that is where we had last left off, with Clout walking away from Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. I believe you had gone to your own wagon to pick up the remainder of your things, and that is where we are going to pick up. So Lowry, Vice, and Pamferdam, did the three of you end up going with Clout to his trailer to grab the remainder of his things, or were you going to then work your way back into the carnival and try and see if you can track down some things?
For Vice, he had grabbed some ink and a brush to head back over to the carousel to write the names on the horses.
Excellent choice. So if we'd like to, we can just have the names on the horses being written, and then as soon as that is done, Clout, you can then rejoin the rest of the party. Unless Lowry and Pam, the two of you, would like to go off and try and do some other shenanery during this time.
Oh no, I want to go with Clout because I'm nosy.
And I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yep. All right. So yeah, the three of you depart to go and write the names of the carousel horses down upon them. And Clout, when you finish getting the remainder of your things, you can then reconvene with the group over at the carousel, unless you wanted to go by yourself doing some private investigative work. Which you can, I'm not stopping you, but the rest of your party is doing a thing over here.
It sounds like Lowry is tagging along with Clout. So I will say that you watch him pack up his things. Among the things that he packs is actually a veal.
Oh, do you play?
Not much.
Well, maybe you can play for me sometime. If you want to. Maybe, please.
We'll
I like
see.
music.
He will just sort of like briefly like stand in the employee area, just sort of taking it all in, and leave without much pomp and circumstance. Just sort of like, yep, sure was a place I used to be for 8 years. All right, I'm done. And he just goes.
Hey, Cloud, I also had a question. I didn't think about this until just a little
And
bit
you are
ago.
also here. Okay, go on.
Yeah, when the circus closes and goes away in the material plane, is there like a back door exit for y'all, or are you just kind of like stuck in the Feywild waiting until the door opens back up?
Once the door's shut, we're kind of here.
All right, so I guess there's a kind of sense of urgency now in my mind. I just like, I think it would be cool if we found this thing and also yelled at a hag before we closed. Well, they closed because you don't work for them anymore.
Mm-hmm. He just sort of like like looks at his wrist and then like up at a clock on like, not on the, like, do we have a clock back in the employee room? Like, surely we'd have a way to tell time
Yeah,
back here.
I would think that there would be some clocks, and it might even be like it'd say like, oh, like the clock on the Sword Coast, and then there's another one that says like, oh, clock in Lantan, like, or the time in Lantan, another one that says like time in Evermeet. Like, it's definitely like the world clocks kind of thing to let you know what the time is in all of these different places, even though it's not like you can really fast travel, but it's just nice to know sometimes.
All right. Just some out of character questions.
Yeah.
In like, carnival ends in 4 hours, right?
Yes.
Is that when the portal shuts?
Carnival closes in 4 hours. As far as a portal, again, you're not exactly sure whether it is open or shut. Today is basically like the first day you've really heard about this portal.
Yeah. If you want to get back to where you're going, sounds like it's pretty time sensitive.
Yeah,
I don't exactly know when the portal shuts, so that might be something that we should figure out.
Okay. Do you know who might know?
He just sort of like grimaces. Like I don't know, is Thaco still hanging around?
Thaco, while at your wagon, had been like, man, like smoking 2 cigars, being really shitty towards you. Again, he doesn't. There's not really a whole lot of talk about a portal at all to the Feywild. As far as being open and shut, there might be ways to do either. I would say out of character, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Worrying intensifies.
When the DM tells you not to worry about something, I understand what the stipulation around that is. However, the going past the Witchlight Carnival obviously will take you beyond the Witchlight, as the title of the book says, where you will meet creatures that will most likely be strong enough to just send you back. Like, you don't like, it's not a like, oh, we went into the door and then the door will close and now we're just stuck here. Like, you'll be fine like as far as making your way back to the material plane.
Yeah, there's more than one way to get back to the material plane.
Oh, you know of one?
No, I've never actually looked for one. I just kind of always worked here, so I didn't have to worry about that. But it'll be fine. It's fine. It's most likely fine.
All right. I'll say I'm still above 50 on confidence levels. So, do you know what this kettlestone looks like, or Kettlesteam?
Kenku, I guess.
Right.
Probably lots of feathers.
Yeah, like a raven person.
But like any identifying features, like is their beak like a little extra long? Is there any like scratches? Do they have like a really cool like shine in their feathers or anything?
It's a good question. Were we given any identifying features?
No descriptors.
Yep, no descriptors, just Kenku. So I guess we're just gonna bother every single bird person in this carnival until we find the person we're looking for.
You were at the front gate though, right? So like, at least up until you met us, you at least saw some people. Maybe like, how many Kenku do you remember seeing come in?
Really good
before
question.
You quit your job.
Make a history check for me.
A history check.
History or perception.
God, it sucks to be a level 1 bard. I forgot
Got
to.
that real master of none going on.
You know what? Freaking okay. I'll just roll a real dice. How about that?
Ooh.
Yeah. Is that that's 10. Oh my god, I rolled a 9 on D&D Beyond as well. It was meant to be.
Well, with your 10, as somebody who works retail and has just a bunch of people constantly coming in through the door and leaving, and then they come at you later and they're like, oh, I was there last Thursday, don't you remember me? No, you don't remember them. You barely remember who you saw an hour ago. There are so many people that they just become a stream, a flood coming through. And Clout, you never really cared that much to look at the people. You just wanted to make sure that no one was getting by without buying a ticket first.
No, I don't remember any Kenku.
Okay, so then they probably came later in the day.
I mean, if they're causing trouble, like, who's to say that they actually went in through the front gate? And I wasn't there the whole day, so yeah.
You know anyone else who operates like security guards or something, or people who might? Oh, the big old dog from earlier. Do they kind of keep a lookout on things?
You mean the Displacer Beast?
Yeah.
No, for the most part, he just kind of stays where he's at. Here, hold on. He's gonna put his fingers to his teeth and do that high-pitched whistle.
Okay.
And call for Whisper. Hey, Whisper, you seen a Kenku around?
this glowing ball, this will-o-wisp, like you see turn, and then like look up and look down, and then it kind of like pulse glows a little bit at you, which you believe to be a no.
Can you go look for one?
It pulse glows at you for a yes and zips away.
Let me know when you find it.
Just continues going.
All right, cool. Whisper's on the lookout for Kenku, and hopefully he'll tell us when he finds one. Well, we only got 4 hours, so we should probably get moving.
Okay, do you think we should split up or anything and meet back at a certain point?
I mean, we could do that, but we don't have a way to get in touch with one another should we find the Kenku.
Well, I can make a bunch of like really bright lights in the sky and stuff like that to indicate where I am.
So, like, make a signal to, like, call everyone to the same spot.
Well, yeah, actually, if you give me like
Several bonus actions.
I could make a couple of glowing rocks for us all. Like, are you really good at throwing stuff like super high? If you have no other way to like make a signal.
Oh, I've got a couple of different ways that I could make a signal.
I think I can figure something out as well.
Oh, okay.
All right, so just some sort of like, I don't know, something.
Like a firework or something.
Yeah,
Unscheduled
flashy.
firework.
Yeah, no, I got something.
Okay, then I think it would be the most productive if we scattered. If we scattered, and then like once we found the Kenku, or if Whisper comes back to you and finds the Kenku, we light up a thing or just set up a thing that we all can see, and then we'll rendezvous at your spot. Whoever does it.
Sounds good. All right, everybody, let's break up. Wait. Where's Hyde?
Yes? He went to go put the names on the horses.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Vice doesn't know the plan.
No, don't worry, I'll find him. I'll make sure he knows.
Okay.
Beeline for the horses.
Okay.
While you're heading towards the horses, I'm going to head over to the area where we were playing carnival games at the beginning.
Sure. All right, so carnival games, horses. Lowry, where are you going?
Hang on, let me look at my map. Carnival games, horses are taken care of. I'll probably head off.
Actions.
What direction is left to go in?
Well, places that you have not been so far.
Mhm.
You have not gone to the Gondola Swans. You have not gone to Silver Song Lake. You have not gone to the Bubble Pop Teapot, the Pixie Kingdom, the Mystery Mine, Snail Racing, or the Hall of Illusion. You haven't gone to any of the
Okay.
lower ring of stuff to do at the carnival.
All right, I'll head towards that lower ring, probably towards either Snail Racing or Mystery Mine.
Okay, sounds
Dealer's
good.
choice.
All right, so Lowry, you are making your way down. Making your way down, do you go on the left-hand side or the right-hand side? Like from where your character would be. So basically, are you passing by the Hall of Illusion towards Snail Racing, or are you going the long way around towards the Mystery Mine?
Let's go past the Hall of Illusion.
Okay, so let me get that. Okay, so as you are getting near the Hall of Illusion, you see that there is a large tent that is painted with a mural of shifting images that show grinning fairies diving into pools of color. The helical stripes of the tent's pointed canopies rotate in spirals, and the whole display seems designed to befuddle onlookers. A clown dressed in muted garb stands at the tent's entrance, blinking at you. And the clown that you end up seeing is none other than
Is it that guy?
this clown right here.
Oh.
He's dressed in very muted colors. He's kind of like hunched over, very pale in complexion. And as you are getting near to this place as well, you see the wooden mannequin of a grinning raven-haired young woman in witch's attire and a green flowing cape hovering inside of a glass cabinet. At the top of the cabinet, a sign reads, Tasha the Wizard, known for her hideous laughter. A halfling couple holds hands as they approach the glass cabinet. One of the halflings is wearing butterfly face paint. As he drops to one knee and pulls out a small box from his pocket, his sweetheart bursts into laughter and begins rolling on the ground. The halfling in face paint begins sobbing and darts into the nearby tent without getting his ticket punched. So you see this, like, you see these two. Halfling just, like, runs into the tent, just, like super
And the halfling
sad.
is the one that I assume was just proposing.
Yeah!
Okay.
And then, like, as he runs by, that's when you see the, like this clown who, like, tries to put their hands up in, like, a stop motion. But the halfling just, like, runs past him, like, not being able to see. And then you see the clown in these drab colors just sort of, like, put their hands on their sides, take a deep sigh, exasperated. And then they look at you and they just sort of wave. And
I'm gonna go walk over to that clown.
they motion towards the Hall of Illusion and point at you. And then make a walking gesture with their hands. And then they say, then they put one finger up, and then they pull out what looks like a ticket. And they also point towards the woman with the robe and make a, like, no motion with their hands. And then points at you and then, like, makes a boisterous laughing, like, bodily motion.
Does she make everyone laugh like that?
He, like, balances his hand back and forth in a way that would mean sometimes.
Only sometimes.
He nods at you.
Is she an exhibit?
He thinks. Points at her again. And then makes a, like, ha ha ha, laughing, kind of laughing gesture. And then points at her again. Sad. And you think that he's trying to get at that it's like a game going up to her.
Strange game.
And he points at his chest and then points at a candle that's resting along kind of an upper rung and then at his foot.
Do you have cold feet?
And he just kind of like sighs and just, no. And he points at himself and points at the candle again. Points at the candle.
Do you have a bright idea?
Sighs. And then he points at his mouth and then makes an X with his hands.
You can't speak.
He nods again.
Is it because of the candle?
He shakes his head no. And he points at himself and like with his mouth, you see him form the word me. He can't say anything or do anything, but just me. And he points at the candle and then points at his foot.
Candlefoot?
He nods.
That's your name.
He nods again.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Candlefoot.
And he bows graciously towards you. And then
My name is Lowry Moon, and I'm here to help.
He claps his hands.
Have you seen a Kenku running around?
He
Maybe causing trouble?
When you say this, you see his brows furrow, and he nods. And opens up his mouth, opens up his hand like a little beak.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see him make a motion like he's taking something from his other hand.
Did he take something from you?
And then he points towards his throat.
Did you take your voice?
He nods. Aggressively this time.
Oh. Was he taller than me?
How tall is Lowry?
She's probably like 5 foot on a good day. She's little.
He makes like a level motion to like around 5'5", 5'6".
Okay. Did they run off in a certain direction?
Shrugs.
You didn't see. Okay.
And then they make a hand motion, like just doing a lot of like festive motions, and then a big circle with their hand, and you see them mouthing "so big," and they then shrug again.
Right. Well, I'm looking for them, and if you see them, send someone to get me.
Nods again, and then points at you, and then you see the bird, and then he like puts his fist into his open palm.
I will give him a high five for you, yes.
He just like points a finger at you, and you see him mouth close enough.
All right. Should I go in there?
And he makes motion, and then holds up a hand, and then makes a square.
Right. My ticket. Here you go.
And he nods. And he takes and he punches it, and then he hands your ticket back to you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right. So, Lowry, you are going inside of the Hall of Illusion?
Let's do it.
Okay.
There might be a Birdman in there.
So, inside of the Hall of Illusion, let me check here just really quick. So, as you get close to the front of the Hall of Illusion, you see Tasha, known for her hideous laughter, and you see this elaborate green cloak inside of this cabinet. Make a history check for me.
Oh, I'm somewhat good at this. 14.
A 14. Okay, so that is... Just want to make sure... But I believe... so close. That is entirely fine. Do you get near the mannequin? Are you, like, taking a roundabout?
She'll get close enough to get a good look, but she's not going to, like, go right up to it.
Okay, sounds good. So avoiding 10 feet from this mannequin. Probably a smart idea. So then, let me see here. You pass that, and inside of this Hall of Illusion, as you are looking around, you start noticing that these mirrors, normally, like, they're like the long mirrors and the wide mirrors and like, oh, it's like a fun house kind of thing. Lowry, what you see passing by these mirrors is that each one of them does have this sort of like warped design and warped look to them. And they do display you, but they don't display you as you are now. It is not a reflection of your current state. What did Lowry look like as a child?
Oh gosh,
Like,
she actually
5-year-old Lowry.
she was a little beanpole. She probably had her hair was longer than brown. It's lightened considerably with her extended age. Yeah, she just looks like generic long-haired little girl.
Okay. And are you looking for anything in particular, or are you just like wandering through the Hall of Illusion hoping to find something?
She's probably looking for a Kenku.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
12.
12. Okay. So as you are looking around, it takes you about 3 minutes upon entering into this Hall of Illusion. What you find is not a Kenku, but instead it is the halfling that you see that has that butterfly mask, or the butterfly face paint. And he has, again, kind of tears in his eyes. But what you see is that he is standing looking into a mirror, and inside of the mirror is, like your own, a very youthful, very childlike rendition of him. But then standing next to that childlike rendition of him is another figure that is not actually there in the material world, standing beside him. And it looks like a young girl wearing a half mask, and the top half is what looks like a pig mask. And there is a picture of her inside of this book, and it is this girl right here.
Ooh.
Oh,
And
she looks delightful.
She is standing inside of the reflection, and you see her extend her hand out, and the halfling reaches out, and her hand seems to almost melt through the mirror to take hold of his own, and she pulls him into the mirror. And as he is pulled into the mirror, you see this older halfling male turn into a halfling child on the other side of the mirror, also with this butterfly face paint. And the two of them walk into the world of the mirror.
Huh. I would like to poke that mirror.
Okay. So, Lowry, you go and you poke the mirror, and it is solid.
Well, that's unsettling. Are there any other weird mirror people around? Or not weird mirror people?
There's no
She'll
response
just-
from the Hall of Illusion.
Okay. Well, I tried. She'll continue walking through it if there's more to see.
Okay. Yeah. Look, going through the hall, it seems empty. It seems like no one's really come through here. Eventually, you start hearing a female voice coming from the entrance of the hall. Reuben! Reuben, I don't know what came over me. Are you still in there? And you see, as you exit the Hall of Illusion, the halfling woman that had been overtaken with laughter comes up to you and just... I didn't mean to laugh. It was something to do with that mannequin thing. Did you see a halfling man in there? He's about yay tall, butterfly face paint, very handsome. Possibly a little in a state of duress.
Hang on. Make a good girl roll. Sorry, I didn't see anyone.
She just, like, sort of hands on her hips, just, oh, he must still be in there. And then she goes into the hall to look for him.
I'm gonna stop by Candlefoot on my way out.
Candlefoot, like, waves. And
What
then
happened?
points to the hall, points to you, smile, curious. Like, you enjoy?
What happens to the people that go in the mirror?
And he looks at you, and his expression, which is normally like, very, just, like, levels out. And
The halfling gentleman was taken away by a woman in a pig mask through the mirror.
and you see him just sort of, like, look like over his shoulder at something and just, like, purses his lips like he is whistling. And
Right.
shrugs and just, like pig mask? I don't know.
I understand that you're not allowed to talk about them. I've already talked to Mr. Witch and Mr. Light about them.
And he just sort of like thank you.
Should they wander back, the woman who would like to be their fiancé is now in there as well.
And his eyes get wide, and then like in the mirror, like, he's asking you, like, is she also in the mirror?
Oh no. She was at the entrance. I told her that I didn't see where he went.
And he taps you on the shoulder real quick and you, and then points in there. Ticket punch.
You want me to go get her?
And he nods.
Here?
He's he like waves his hand.
You're not going to punch my ticket.
He points like towards where she is. And then punch.
You didn't punch her ticket.
He shakes his head no.
And so they'll come for her.
He nods.
Okay, I'm going in.
Makes the motion. Thank you.
Lowry will turn around and go back.
Okay. Lowry, make another perception check.
Seven.
A 7. Yeah, you get in. You get into the hall. You go up, like, you know where this mirror is. I'd say actually roll with advantage. You know the layout of this place now.
It's still a 7. That second roll was a 4.
Okay. Yeah, Lowry, you do not find another halfling in here. You look around and there you don't find one.
Oh no, it's so fun to be in here without anyone having punched my ticket to come in.
No response. But Lowry, while you are making these you are saying these things aloud. Pamferdam, you went to the north to try and play some carnival games?
Not to play them, just to start at that location.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so looking around, thankfully, the carnival games are not exactly... There are several carnival games, but it's not like there are it's pretty easy to kind of give like a full scan of the area. And what you see are there are no Kenku. There are a couple Aarakocra, one or two owl folk, but you don't actually see any of these like black-feathered raven people.
Too tall, too round, tall again, short beak.
Do I see anyone that looks like they work here, like one of the people running the game stands that aren't busy with customers?
Yeah, I would say that as far as individuals who are not exactly busy at this point in the day, would be the Gnome Poetry Contest.
That was a masculine person, right?
Yes, and when you arrive, you can see that it is like this square-jawed, red, almost pompadour style. Just, oh, back again, are we?
Hello, Mr. Gnometry. I was wondering, did you happen to see a Kenku in the vicinity recently, possibly causing shenanigans and/or tomfoolery?
Shenanigans?
You know, like stuff that's like not actually like part of the carnival, and it like would get them in trouble, maybe.
Well, we haven't seen anybody causing shenanigans around here. Tomfoolery is encouraged, but shenanigans, well, I don't even really... No, I do know of a few words that would rhyme with shenanigans. Now, are you looking for them for some reason or another?
Yeah, your boss asked us to look out for them.
Oh.
I guess they're causing a little bit of trouble in this place, and we're supposed to like help make them not do that anymore.
All right. Well, what was your name?
I'm Pam.
Pam? Pam, it's nice to meet you. How about this, Pam? If I see if I see an individual causing a ruckus, or tomfoolery, I'll let the bosses know. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll just do one more like survey of the area and then start to scoot my way out.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Let's see what I can see. 17.
Okay, a 17. So you see something peculiar as you are exiting this area. You see that there is, it looks like there is a performance that is going to be happening near Silver Song Lake, where you know that the Merfolk Palasha is going to be hosting a concert. You have heard her already sing a beautiful song while at the Big Top Extravaganza. It looks like it is roughly going to be time soon for yet another one of her performances. You have maybe about like 5-10 minutes before her performance. And as you are leaving the Carnival Games area, you see there's like a regular Joe Schmo looking human. And as they are walking, you see that they are kind of quickly walking towards the Silver Song Lake. And they walk behind another individual, a more rotund man, like reddish brown hair, a little bit of like a scruffle. And as they walk behind, walking on the other side, almost like a mask layer has been hit, you see that there is a different person that is standing there. Like there is some sort of illusory effect that seems to have taken place between walking from one side of the rotund man to the other.
All right, I'm going to try my best to like lock eyes on the possible illusion person and quickly just do a lap around the rotund man myself, just in case that's the effect, and then follow that person.
Yeah, as you're doing this lap, just, oh my word, what's
Excuse me. Sorry, I just had to figure out something real quick. Okay, bye.
Yeah. And it looks like the form that you had seen on the other side that had transpired, that they look more like they're like a darker skinned half elf, which you have not seen very many of at the carnival. It seems like this is kind of its own. They're still easier to identify compared to the others.
All right, I'm gonna stalk this person for a little bit and observe what they do.
Okay. Sounds good. So, Pamferdam, you are stalking. Lowry, you are having a hell of a time in the Hall of Illusions. Clout, you and Vice Clout, you were going to be filling Vice in on what the plan was in Vice. You are just getting the finishing brush stroke on to the last of your fine friends. You are writing the E in 9.
Well, there you go, 9, looking as dapper as always.
And Diana Cloppington, the horsewoman, not a centaur, it just sort of like has her arms crossed and she's just like giving you a nod, a solid thumbs up. And as she's giving you that solid thumbs up, she kind of looks over and you see that straight face, like, yeah, you fucking did it, kid. Kind of turns into more of a grimace as her eyes narrow as Clout, you come up to speak to Vice.
As Clout's walking up, he's gonna lean over and just pat her hand gently. Oh, he has that effect on everyone, don't worry.
And she just sort of like takes her hand back and just like kind of gives you a look like, I am working right now.
Give this back to Mr. Witch and Mr. Light for me, thank you.
And then, like, as she's about to say something, then, like, more people come up. They're like, we would like to ride the carousel. She's like, oh, yes. So, like, has to put back on the customer service mask. All right, so Clout, Vice just, like, scampers on up to you.
All right. Glad I found you here. For some reason, I felt like you weren't going to be here.
Oh, I always keep my promises, my dear boy.
Right. So here's the plan. We gotta find this Kenku guy. You got some way to, like, get a hold of us? We're gonna split up so we can cover more ground. We only got, like, what, 4 hours?
It's a work in progress, but I can make some noise.
Great. Okay. I guess I'll go this way, you go that way.
I'll go high, you go low then. And you'll disappear into the crowd.
I feel like Clout gets some, like, weird deja vu from that, and he just sort of, like, looks after Vice and then, like, shakes his head and moves away.
Okay. So, knowing... So for Vice and Clout, what is high, what is low for the two of you? Where are you going to check?
Vice is going on a booth.
Okay.
And probably just trying to quietly, protector of the night, scan the crowd for any Kenku.
Okay. So there's not... Let's see here. So if you guys were over at the carousel, you could try... Most of these are tents, which is going to be a little bit difficult to try and scale on top of, because tents do not have the structural integrity that Assassin's Creed has led us all to believe. But there are a few, like, standing buildings over by the Carnival Games area, so you could be going... you could approach the Carnival Games. Roll a stealth check to try and clamber on top of one of these buildings.
I got a 16.
A 16? Okay. Let's see if any of the employees here take note of you. Yeah, it seems the Cyclops, actually, is like, sees you getting up, just, hey! Like, just get down from there. Like, kind of like, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm doing a thing for Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, don't worry about it.
And he roll a persuasion check.
Well, go ask them. I don't know what you want to do. 25.
Okay. As you say that, he just, and then like as he's about to like keep talking to you, and you say like, I'm doing a thing for Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. It's okay. Like he recognizes that you were one of the individuals that put on the stellar performance at the Big Top Extravaganza. And as he's still kind of processing that, somebody comes up to him to challenge him for a staring competition. This time it is the man who introduced himself as Kefris to you earlier. He is going to try and stare down this Cyclops as best he can. And you see that he kind of like moves his hair out of one side of his face, and he just has like this weird reptile eye. He's going to try and like psych out the Cyclops as best he can. But yeah, you clamber on up there. And it seems like people aren't necessarily excited about you being on top of one of these buildings. But again, you are doing a thing for Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. So that's fine. Make a perception check while you were up here.
19.
19. So with a perception check, you do not see a Kenku. Again, there you see some Aarakocra, you see some owl folk. There's even like there's a group of 3 adventurers that seem to be like parading around with an owl bear as a pet. Like it seems like that's just like part of their crew.
Is it a tiefling and 2 humans?
It is a tiefling and 2 humans. One of these humans, gold hair, another kind of brown hair. Or like dark black hair. Dark black hair human is very drunk right now. He seems like a bard, but that's fine. So they're doing their whole thing.
Wait, do I... would Vice recognize them?
Vice would not recognize these individuals.
Cool.
Yeah. Thumbs up on that one. But what you see, Vice, very similar to Pamferdam, as you are kind of like scanning through the crowd, you actually see the same sequence of events play out, where you watch this individual sort of walk behind the rotund man with the small scruffies and the reddish hair, and then as they walk past them, they are just a different person. But because you have a more aerial view, you get to see that slight, like you get to see the Animorph middle sequence, where you see this person actively using illusion to change their features. But in that split moment, in between the illusions that they have cast, you actually do see on the other side of the rotund man, black feathers, beak, and their hands are just casting like this quick arcane, these quick arcane movements to then just shift into another form. And you see that they are going towards Silversong Lake.
And Vice just smiles as he scampers back down this perch and will tuck his hands to his pocket, pull his hood up, and follow them.
Okay. All right, and Clout, where were you going?
Clout is going to rely on the fact that most likely nobody has found out that he's been quote unquote fired, and he's going to be asking around employees if they've seen a Kenku, and unfortunately the closest employee is going to be Diana.
Okay, Diana, as you approach, she's already like given her whole spiel about the carousel, and then looks at you and just, can I help you? I'm sorry.
To
It's
bother you, Di. I'm looking for a troublemaker. You haven't seen a Kenku around here, have you?
Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of people today. I don't know if I've necessarily seen a Kenku. They're the birds who can't talk but can talk, right?
Right, those ones.
I think I may have seen 1 or 2 earlier today, but they didn't come to the carousel.
Right. Did you happen to see which way they were going?
Last I saw, they're going south, towards, well, like the bottom rung, bottom of the 8. And the
All right.
the 8 is what you carnies call the Witchlight Carnival, because it is in the shape of a large 8.
Mm-hmm. He's just sort of scanning the crowd as he talks to her, and then he just sort of gives her an affirmative nod, like, "All right, thanks a lot, Di." And he starts to head off, and then he like stops, turns toward her, and then just sort of like finger guns, winks, like, "By the way, you look great today."
And she
Just
like eyes sort of like squinted, mouth pursed, just, thanks, Clout.
Just the whole hair, like the tail hair, the hair of your tail. I'm leaving.
I'm
He just
working.
leaves. Yeah, I know. We all are. Yep. We never stop working. He just goes.
She just sort of like shakes her head from side to side as you go. All right. So Clout, going towards the bottom of the 8. Are you going to check anything out?
Yeah. No, he's just stopping at every booth, asking employees if they've seen the Kenku.
Okay.
He will like politely wait if they are interacting with other like customers.
Yeah, for sure. So you know that the honestly, the nearest employee that's not just like a stall worker is going to be Candlefoot over at the Hall of Illusions.
All right. Sure. He'll approach Candlefoot.
And when Candlefoot sees you, he just sort of like waves at you. And then kind of like makes a like a deflated, like, I don't know.
Like-
And says, and like looks at you and just points to his throat, and then just like an X makes like a bird motion with his hand, then a stealing motion.
Hey Candy. Sorry, I heard about the whole voice thing.
Puts his hands over his heart and just a deep sigh.
Yeah, and the Palatia thing too. Sorry about that. Like you'll get it, man. Like don't worry about it. Okay, stop. You don't have to like play it up that much. It's not that bad.
He looks at you and you see him mouth not that bad. And he fumbles for like in his pocket and he pulls out a small box. And he looks at you and says, "Not that bad." And like pops it open and you see like a small ring in there and just really like closes it again, puts it into his pocket, hands on his hips.
Wasn't the time.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. But we'll get your what happened to your voice?
And deep sigh. And
Like it wasn't one of those 3 weirdos, was it?
He shakes his head no.
Like pig mask, like frog thing. Yeah, moon critter.
The moon ghost.
Moon ghost.
And he shakes his head and waves his hand. No. Bird. And then he'll like make like 3 draws from one eye. And then like makes like a magic thing with his hand. Make an insight check.
Sure. I can do that. Not using Beyond for this. Oh ho ho. How's about a 19?
A 19. You know that the universal symbol for a particular kind of spellcaster is an eye that has some lines coming down from the bottom of it. Typically a warlock.
Huh. So a warlock took your voice. I
Think
don't
so?
know. I thought that people weren't able to steal from employees.
He said, makes an X3.
It wasn't one of the three.
No. Bird.
I guess I just didn't know that one of there was more than just the three to worry about. God.
He says, and he makes like steal from anybody.
All right, well, I'll take care of it, Candlefoot.
Bird stole voice.
Bird stole voice. The Kenku? A Kenku stole your voice?
He nods.
Where? Did you see where he went?
Big motion for the carnival.
Yeah. It's a big carnival, Candy. Well, you're only in charge of one spot. I have to deal with the whole thing.
It's just like, looks so dejected. And as he's like looking super dejected, and Clout, you're getting into it with this mute clown. Lowry, that is when you come out from the exit of the Hall of Illusion on your second round through, seeing neither halfling that went through.
And you think you had a bad day today?
He
Well, I'll
nods.
tell you.
Clout, why are you yelling at my new friend?
Candlefoot waves at you, Lowry. And then
Hi, Candlefoot. Neither of them are in there.
he looks at you, Clout, points at Lowry, and makes a quick sign with his hands to say friend, and like gives you like big eyebrows. Like, my friend.
I'm not yelling at him. I'm just having a passionate discussion.
About what?
Yelling.
Just trying to figure things out. You already talked to him?
Uh-huh. The Kenku
you
stole
know-
his voice.
Bingo. And
Also, I
he's not
saw
in-
one of the hags.
You saw one of the hags.
Candlefoot sort of like starts looking behind him.
Yeah, I was about to tell you, Candy. I don't exactly work here anymore, so I can talk about that all I like. Look away if you have to. He's gonna stalk over towards Lowry.
Just like, he'll go back to what he was doing, but he looks over at you and just like, what happened?
Yeah, bad day. Turns around, looks at Lowry.
So anyways, when I got here, a couple walked up over there in front of that Tasha person, and one of them got down on their knee and they opened up a box, and it looked like they were going to propose, but then the nice lady started laughing uncontrollably, and the gentleman got up and ran away crying, and he ran in here, and so I went in after him because I thought, well, maybe the Kenku that we were looking for was hiding in a place that dealt with illusions. And then when I walked in, I saw a younger version of myself with very dark hair. I don't remember my hair being that dark. Maybe it's because I remember it differently because I'm an adult now and it's been a very long time since then. But I saw myself, and then I saw him, and I saw a younger version of him. And there was also a lady in a pig mask in the mirror next to him. And she held out her hand through the mirror and took his hand, and then he went in after her.
God, it had to be the pig one. That one creeps me out.
I thought she looked rather fetching.
Is this similar to what I've seen before? Like have I seen stuff similar to this before?
Not seen it necessarily, but you have heard through the grapevine that the Hall of Illusion is it is very important that people get their tickets punched near the Hall of Illusion.
Great. God, I thought they were just stealing things and now they're kidnapping people. What the hell?
What happens to the people that they take?
I have no idea. Why do you
I
think I'm
think-
so insistent on trying to figure these things out?
I think they took the woman too.
Okay, nope. We'll figure this out. We just gotta catch that Kenku first.
Right. And then we come back and break all the mirrors.
I'd recommend against that.
I think it's an
already-
excellent way to draw them out.
I think that's an excellent way to get on Witch and Light's bad side.
I think I might already be there. So it's fine.
You know what? We find those hags, we can break all the mirrors you want.
I want to break all of those.
You know what? Just put a pin in it. We'll take care of it.
All right. Lowry's going to pull a pin from the brim of her hat and stick it into the side of the Hall of Illusions.
God, why is everyone so literal in the Feywild? All right, let's find that Kenku.
Okay. And as the two of you are deciding how best to find this Kenku, Pamferdam, you and Vice are making your way over to the Silver Song Lake. It is one of those things where you didn't necessarily agree to meet up at this point, but Pamferdam, as you're walking and kind of like tracking down where this illusory son of a bitch is, you see like hood up, none other than your several hours long friend seems to be making his way into the crowds as well. And they seem to almost be like looking in the same general direction as you are.
I try and like navigate through the crowd to get closer to Vice, and like tug at their elbow.
Like, hey, I think that person's doing some weird magic stuff.
Yep, that is our... I wouldn't say Mark per se, but that's our Kenku friend.
Oh, you think so?
No, I know so.
Oh, did you? I didn't see a. Oh, heck.
I mean, I just like step behind Vice in between me, Vice, and then our Mark, and pull out a bit of fleece and make some magical gestures and cause a illusion of like a couple of butterflies flying up into the air about 30 feet up, just like a cute little like fae themed firework.
Okay. Was that the predetermined symbol for your friends?
Sure was a symbol.
Yep. Clout and Lowry, roll a perception check.
It's almost like we've never worked together before and we don't know to verify what the signal's supposed to be.
I got an 18.
18.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
17.
Okay. So a 17, and an 18. I'd say that the 18 is high enough. Lowry, there's lots of shit going on up above. Lots of lights, lots of fun things. Pretty hard to distinguish when some butterfly lights appear above what is kind of like a butterfly-themed carnival. Clout, you are able to recognize them because, hey, that shit's not sanctioned. Like, we don't do those butterflies. That's not with those color combinations. Like, you know.
That's not our brand.
Yeah, like, my brand. Like, that is not what is going on, clearly, for you.
Right.
So you are able to at least think that either Pamferdam is sending a signal, or someone else is firing off the works.
Yeah, I think it's he like points up at the sky and says to Lowry, "Do you see that?
The sky?
We don't do that shit. Come on, that's our signal. Let's go."
Who doesn't do
Don't
the
do
sky?
that sky shit.
No off the ground fireworks.
Clout knows how to cross the carnival without looking like there's, an emergency. Like he knows how to like do things incognito. Because if like somebody just starts running across the carnival all of a sudden, it might look like there's like, an emergency happening and cause a panic. So he just sort of like picks up the pace, and he'll just sort of hook his arm under Lowry's and scoot her through the crowd.
Lowry's still going on about why it is a good idea to break all the mirrors in the Hall of Illusions.
He lets her talk.
Okay. And as the two of you are approaching, and Vice, you and Pamferdam are here, the area that you are in becomes more and more crowded, as it seems like Palasha is getting ready for her song, for her performance. And it is at this point that she, you see, like there's a river that runs nearby, as well as this large fish bowl. And in a flowing motion, you see a beautiful merwoman jump out of the river and then fall directly into the large fish bowl, kind of twirl around a little bit as the crowd cheers and gets ready for her. And then inside of this giant bowl, you can see that she then kind of comes up and with a solitary finger begins to trace along the outside of this glass bowl. And as she does, it starts to create a note that she then begins to hum and harmonize with. And eventually she sort of begins to take off from the note that was begun on this fish bowl. And as she's singing, it's beautiful. The crowd is just completely enraptured by her. And Pam and Vice, make perception checks for me.
Focus.
17 for Vice.
12 for Pamferdam.
Okay. So as more people have come into this audience, you've lost track of your mark. They got a nat 20 on stealth with the aid of a disguise self spell. And as this merfolk is singing, you see her like motion with her hand upwards as water from her bowl rises into the shape of a swarm of fish, or a school of fish, not a swarm. It says swarm as like the stats for it, but we all know that's not the right words for fish. As these kippers made of water begin to circle and form around her. And then you hear her voice sounds like my mother if my mother was dead. And she sort of like the fish seem to like fall into rain, and then she catches them a little bit and hops back into her song. And then from farther into the crowd, it's outside of your Q zone! As this dude just seems to yell, like just screaming at her. And she again looks a little bit shaken. And then there is a solid, there's a little bit of a pause as she is trying to get it in the crowd's like, who the fuck keeps saying this? Until eventually you hear, just give up already. It doesn't even sound that good anyways. And at that, Daniel Quasar, thank you so much for the raid. At that, Palasha stops singing, and you see that there are tears beginning to form in her eyes, and she, like, her lip begins to quiver, and as these water kippers fall, and she dives into her bowl, pops out, and says, "Show's over!" as she hops out of the fish bowl into the stream and just swims away.
Can I use where the voices are coming from to triangulate where this Kenku is?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Motherfucker. That is a dirty 20.
Okay. Sounds good. So yes, you are actually able to help triangulate where Kettlesteam is making noise from, it would appear. And as the crowd is like trying to figure out like what the fuck happened, like who was doing that? Why would somebody be so rude? And they're all just sort of like perplexed, and like some of the other like Witchlight workers come out and they're like, technical difficulties. Like they're like trying to like, hello my baby, hello my darling, hello my ragtime gal, like their way out of the performance. The two of you, Pamferdam and Vice, are able to notice what looks like a the Scott Farkas looking individual that you had seen earlier, but like a little bit taller, drier skin, beady eyes, as they just have like this like kind of smirk on their face as they're walking away. And as they continue to walk away, you see some illusion magic fade away, as this Kenku seems to just like rubbing their hands together, chortling to themselves as they go.
I would like to approach them from behind.
Okay, are you just gonna like immediately zoop to them, or are you gonna wait for them to get a little bit away?
I'm gonna pick my way through the crowd. He flicks his wrist and there's a dagger that comes out.
Okay.
And as he approaches behind him, he's just gonna put the dagger to the Kenku's back. That wasn't very nice, Kettle Whistle.
And
Or is it Kettlesteam?
Kettlesteam.
Kettlesteam.
And Kettlesteam's hands kind of come up, just, well there, friend. Maybe let's not get so pointed in our introductions. I don't believe we've ever met before, so maybe you could put that away and we could talk like real chaps.
Oh, while we do that, can you make sure to keep your hands in your pockets at all times?
Do you
I'd
want
rather
my
you
hands
like
up or
peek
do you
out.
want my hands in my pockets?
I would rather I can see them so I know if you're casting anything.
Well, it's kind of hard to do somatic components when your hands are in your pocket. You have to do like this kind of stuff.
Well, if he's tricky enough, he'll find a way.
How about this? How about you start with, how did I wrong you specifically, or did I wrong one of your lovers?
Oh, we're going to get along swimmingly.
No! Stop! We're
And-
supposed to take you back to the boss person.
And as the two of you are saying this, Clout, you and Lowry are approaching where you had seen the signal from. Lowry, you see Pam and Vice speaking candidly. We'll use big air quotes to say candidly to this individual because you could probably see the knife that Vice has. And Clout, the thing that weirds you out the most is that that's Candlefoot's voice. Coming
What a
from this weird boy.
dickbag!
Coming from
What
this
a
bird.
dickbag!
Oh my god.
Can I get sneak attack on him?
Yeah, I was starting to wonder, like, how the fuck is this guy just talking normally? I was like, these are some really specific. Okay, all right, cool. No, hold on. Let me address this in character. All right, cool.
So it is cool that I go ahead and I go and break a few mirrors right now.
You know what?
I just want to be clear about that.
Just wait on that. I'm thinking about breaking something else right now. He's gonna walk over and like, has he like heard like the crowd like talking about like, I don't know, like somebody made the mermaid cry?
I would say make a perception check.
Fucking okay. Natural fucking 20.
Yeah, you definitely heard just like, I don't know, like there were like
I
three
heard-
people in there. Yeah.
I heard Palatia stop singing and start crying.
Yes.
Like, that's
There was
my
like a
ears are
megaphone
tuned.
on her kind of thing. Like she hadn't
Yeah.
demiked yet and like taken off the fucking like Yeah.
I want to grapple the Kenku.
Okay.
We'll bust your kneecaps.
Yeah, see, now they can't use their hands.
Do you want me to roll for it? I'm gonna
Yeah.
grapple him.
Roll with
Alright.
advantage because you're coming from behind.
Yep. I'll approach from the front. I'm finally doing something I'm actually trained in. 23.
So a 23. Yeah, you as chat described it, you full on airport tackle them. You can definitely like you can definitely grapple this individual. And as you are grappling them, they just say, "Hey, well, look, let's try maybe to talk about this someplace else other than the middle of the carnival. Unless you all feel like causing a bad time to happen around now."
I'm gonna hike him up
Talking,
onto my
stop it.
shoulder, just like that's not gonna be a problem. And I just start walking towards the staff area.
As you do, Vice, you, Pamferdam, and Lowry all see this Kenku, who's like, maybe we could not try and kidnap me right now. Obviously getting like strong arm lifted away. You see their figure change into that of a younger looking woman,
Oh fuck.
and she begins to yell for help. As it's clearly this carnival worker is kidnapping her. And as this feminine voice cries out, help me, they're taking me away! That's where we're going to go to our break. So we're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon! Hello, everybody, and welcome. We have returned from our break. As we left it, there was a certain Kenku who disguised themselves as a younger woman, and as you all had said Kettlesteam over your shoulder, walking away towards the staff area, they disguised themselves and began speaking in a feminine voice, saying, help me, I'm being kidnapped."
I immediately panic and start to cast Minor Illusion again, but this time making the sound of like a crowd of laughter and like jazz hands thing and being like,
It's part of the show. Ha ha ha. It's funny.
Make either a performance or an arcana check.
all right. Which one am I going to be? Of course. All right, Arcana it is 5.
Okay. It is not as loud as you're hoping it is, and Kettlesteam is just wriggling.
I would like to transform myself into the woman who's currently being taken away by Clout using disguise self. I would like to then loop into the crowd and go, that's the woman who's been impersonating me. Good job catching her.
One of these
Roll
plans is
a
going to work.
deception check.
I'm gonna inspire you.
Okay,
You're on
what's
deck,
your
think about plan C.
inspiration? What's your inspiration die?
D6 for
Yeah,
level 1.
D6.
Oh my god.
That's an 18.
Okay. Things I was not expecting to happen today. Okay. Yeah, they seem to be totally buying it, and they're like, yeah, get that imposter out of here! Like, the crowd is like, all like, yeah, faker, get out! They said mean things to Palasha! Like, yeah, you guys are able to carry Kettlesteam the Kenku away, without lowering, the overall vibe of the circus, so that's a good. Getting in the in-between spot between the circus proper and the staff area, of which Clout no longer has not necessarily access to, but you took all your stuff away from there. So you at least know of one wagon that is empty.
Technically speaking, Cloud is still employed until the morning.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah, Clout, if you want, you could just take Kettlesteam back to the wagon that you previously emptied. Seems like a pretty good questioning spot.
Yeah, I'll do that. Well, I've still got a hold of him. I'll search him for any weapons, and relieve him.
Okay. You find a singular dagger.
Is it a nice one?
It's a dagger.
Huh. He'll just like take it by the point and toss it over his shoulder into a wall.
Okay. Yeah, it will stick in just fine because you're super skilled.
Cool. And then I'm gonna reach onto my arm, which is bare except for all these tattoos. And one of the tattoos is a hempen rope just sort of coiled around one bicep. I'm going to literally peel that tattoo off of my arm, and as I do so, it turns into an actual rope. And I'm going to use it to tie him up.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
Okay. That's an 8.
You know, I'll say that an 8. Look, doesn't matter how good the knot is. There's 4 of you guys, and then 1 bird stuck inside of this wagon. Like, at this point, then the rope is a formality.
Yep. I do that, and then I'm just gonna stand behind him with my hand on his shoulder.
The last time this happened to me, I was deep in Luskin. Do we have a safe word?
Pineapple.
Oh, that seems easy enough. Pineapple. Pineapple, pineapple, pineapple. I require the safe word now. I wish to leave this place.
No, it's okay. I'm pretty sure this is like a safe room. It's just us and you.
Unfortunately, someone stole my hearing.
That seems like something that you should get checked out, old chum.
What?
I see. Now, I believe there may have been a misunderstanding of sorts.
And what misunderstanding would that be?
Well, you tell me what I did wrong, and I'll tell you why it wasn't me.
Well, let's just start.
Well, we have it on good authority that you've been harshing the vibe of the carnival.
All right, no, that was me.
Oh, okay. That was pretty straightforward then. You gotta stop doing that.
No.
You also took my friend's voice.
Well, I needed it.
To heckle an innocent mermaid and make her cry.
Well, it happens. Sometimes you heckle them till they cry, other times they heckle back. I had to take a risk.
With the voice of her beloved. Which
I
is-
didn't know that they were getting together. That's not on me. How was I supposed to know that?
Can I call you Kettle?
Yes. How do you know that name?
Let's just say, the showrunners had asked us to find you.
Oh. Oh, sure, they'll talk to you guys, but they won't talk to me.
Right.
It's fact.
Is that why you're going about and upsetting some of the workers here?
Yes.
Why do you need to talk to them?
Because I want to know what the fuck the deal is.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean that for the last while, I haven't been able to get a hold of my patron. My patron exists in Prismere, a place where Mr. Witch and Mr. Light seem to have access to, but they aren't telling. So, I have to kind of be a dick in order to at least get them to talk to me, of which they refuse.
And if we could somehow get you into Prismere, would you stop being a twat?
Possibly.
And also give back the voice you stole.
I needed it.
I know you
borrowed
needed it, but you don't need it now.
Well, I do need it now if I'm going to be able to talk to you all easier about why I borrowed it.
We'll get you a notebook.
What if I said I was illiterate? Would you believe a pretty, pretty bird like me?
No.
Pretty bird. And they blink at you with these big black eyes.
Considering, turns to Clout. Where's your patience at the moment?
Sort of like makes like a hand, like, you know, gauging how much patience he has, and then like just drops it to 0.
Vice puts a hand on Kettle's other shoulder and leans in. Do you know what it's like to die, Kettle?
If I told you yes, but in a more bardic kind of way, would you believe me?
No, I mean literally to die.
No, and I don't exactly plan on finding out.
Well, then you'll cooperate with us, because I know what that's like. It's not a pleasant experience.
It doesn't sound like it. It's a little fucked, and you seem very serious about this whole thing. So, alright, chap. Let's slow things down a little bit. Play it cool.
Cool went out the window when you made a practitioner of the arts cry. I might be a bastard, but I like those sort of things.
In my defense,
You had a dagger in your ribs? Shink.
well, that happened afterward. But if it means that I don't die, then yes, I'll say that it was happening at the time. No, in my defense, again, my patron has not been exactly vocal to me for the last little while, which is concerning. When you are a faithful warlock of the Archfey. You can see how that would be concerning. If suddenly the thing, the deific power, almost, gives you strength, that gives you powers, suddenly just, gone.
Don't exactly understand how this is the responsibility of the carnival.
That is the responsibility of the carnival because of what I overheard last time I came through 4 years ago.
And what did you overhear?
Someone is going to find out about this. They'll shut us down.
We agreed to this pact. Our hands are forced, but our eyes were open. We let the Hourglass Coven take what it wants, and in return, we stay in business. That is what you want, right?
So that's what I heard the last time I came to the carnival. These assholes know exactly what's going on, they know exactly what's up, and they are doing nothing about it. This Hourglass Coven, whatever it is, seems rightly fucked. They're the ones who are taking things. I simply borrowed this voice because I needed to talk to people. People like you. And it seems to be working out rather advantageously, minus the knife and the rope. Although the rope could be advantageous, play cards right. And Kettlesteam winks at you, Vice.
Vice just pulls away pineapple. Right.
Also, I would love to go with you to Prismia, but honestly, I can't.
And why is that?
Part of the pact, you see. I get my powers from Zybilna. Zybilna told me that if I were to ever go to the Feywild, I would not be able to continue using my powers, and if anything, they would all get revoked, in which case I would just go back to being a regular Kenku, which I'd rather not do, because I rather like what I have going on. Especially this whole speaking my mind thing. Do you understand how incredible this is? No constraints, no confines. I have been, like, in my spare time, I'm finding books, I'm reading everything aloud, so after I looks around the room, return that which was borrowed, I will have the ability to mimic myself for everything that I've said up until this point. Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Who knows, maybe I'll want to say that at some point, and now I can.
The flaming torch was denied a bank loan.
Flaming torch was denied a bank loan, yes. I like the sound of this voice, so I want to say as many things as I can with it, but yours is pretty good too. The human torch was denied a bank loan. See, I can do that too.
Sorry, Clout's really angry at this guy, but I fucking love him.
Anywho's a what's-its. If we go talk to your patron, will you stop being a twat?
Yes.
Cool. Sit right there.
I don't have much other choice.
Huddle. Alright, so what are the odds that Prismia is the place that Witch and Light want to lead us to after Connie hours?
It's probably exactly the place.
Right, Hall of Illusion, and then some sort of password to get in. Why does it always have to be the fucking warlocks?
Asking this person questions, so like ask them if they know how to get to that place, because then like we can just circumvent Witchlight.
Oh no, they
completely-
were going to freely lead us there. They were just going to pretend like they didn't see us.
Well, I'm talking about this one here. This one.
Boop. Kettle, do you know how to get to Prismere?
No.
Boop.
All
There
right,
we
then
go.
I think personally that we're gonna have to stick with Mr. Witch and Mr. Light until, because like we can't really make a lot of forward momentum to getting stuff back until that point.
Then, once we're in there, we deal with the hags.
I might have a way to find at least one of them.
Oh.
I saw them in a mirror.
That like mean like you can like scry on them or something.
No, but I think if I go and start smashing mirrors, they might come.
Ooh.
Oh.
7 years bad luck.
Well, doing naughty things in the carnival does make them come to steal our stuff, because that's how they stole my stuff.
I
So,
saw them steal
not
a whole
bad
person,
idea.
though.
Oh, well, that's kind of pretty mean.
If they come for one of us, we could go through the mirror, too.
Then we really,
I'll-
really wouldn't need anybody else involved. Like, we can just like check out of this entire situation if the mirror thing works.
We have a free in to the mirrors. Why are we circumnavigating it?
You guys talk about smashing
Like,
mirrors
this
again?
timetable, I don't
No,
know.
no,
Yes, it's a good theory. I think we should do it.
Not a theory, it's property damage.
Same thing.
That's not too like it's not two sides of a coin. That's like you can have both.
You know, if you do smash said mirrors, there might not be a way in, correct?
Like we'll smash most of the mirrors.
I know which one that they were using. That might be the only one they need.
We smash all the mirrors, but the door mirror.
Of course, if we all just enter without punching our tickets, that might also bring them around.
What if we just
However-
punch someone? Like how many rules do we need to break to make them come and steal our stuff?
None, because we could just get in.
What's the fastest route then? That's really the big concern here. It's like what
We
can-
walk over to Witch and Light and say the situation's handled.
Well,
They
fucking
walk us
go
over to
then.
the Hall of Mirrors and they get us in. Absolute walnuts.
No, but they want us to wait until they close, and that's still like several hours from now, and I don't know how to get out of this place like, besides them, so I really don't. I don't have a lot in my career to wait another 8 years to get the heck out of this place.
Clout just looks down at Kettlesteam and says, "It's going great."
Going so great.
Can you recite to me a soliloquy so that way I can remember it for later?
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears.
This was a man from Nantucket.
Well,
Ooh,
then I'll
where's
put it on the shore
Nantucket?
so
Is that near Luskin?
Alright.
Lowry's gonna look at him and mumble something under her breath at him.
Alright. Personally, I think the mirror option is the best and fastest. Well, okay, maybe not the best, but definitely the fastest route to get into the hags. And unless like someone already knows a way out, or like knows someone who knows, no further extension beyond that. Like I kind of want to make sure that we keep moving forward so that I can go home after all of this.
Good
If it
chap.
makes-
If you're going to talk to Zabilna,
Out of the circle,
Don't worry, if he gets too annoying, I've already hexed him, so I can just hit him very hard later.
Oh, when'd you do that?
Kettlesteam looks up towards Clout. You know, Zabilna could probably take you all home if you're worried about the there and back again Hobbit's Tale, the Bilbo Baggins story.
They prefer halflings, that's copywritten.
So, you want to leave him with Mr. Witch and Mr. Light? Someone's gonna have to babysit him. We can't take him with us.
No, we can't come with, or else his powers go bonkers. We'll just tell Witch and Light that the problem's done with. If he promises not to disturb the carnival anymore, we go talk to Zabilma in the Prism Realm or what have you.
He has to give my friend back his voice.
Say, Kettle. Vice walks over, reaches into his coat, pulls out a card. You know, if you're looking for different work in the same nature, hand it off to him.
And what kind of work would that be? Causing a ruckus?
The mischievous kind.
I do like mischief.
And I'm pretty sure my patron can outfit you with something a little bit more vocal after your situation's done with.
All right, how about this, old chap? How about if another 8 years goes by and nothing's happened? I'll consider it. If you're already looking to sort out the situation, talk to Zabilda. I rather like my patron. She's wonderful. Only reason I'm causing... Look, I'm regularly just a straight shooter. Whiz bang, that's me. All on the level. Only reason I'm doing any of this, I don't like being a rabble-rouser. You know.
Stop.
I can't.
Are you cursed or something?
No, I really, like, I want to know what's going on with my patron, and I feel like Mr. Witch and Mr. Light know, and they're holding out, and that's kind of shitty, so I'm going to be shitty back.
Oh, then it's not that you can, it's that you choose not to.
Yes, exactly.
Alright, so you're a butt. Anyway. Lowry, I'm just saying, we got 2 votes for mirrors.
2 votes against.
Yeah, but I think both of you don't really like have you're not agreeing with each other too. So it's like 1 vote for yours and 1 vote for yours and 2 vote for ours.
Do I get a vote in this?
No.
Fuck it. Have fun. I have a hammer in my bag if you want. Actually, it's a crowbar. It's a thief's kit.
I don't have a crowbar yet. I'll take it.
You're muted.
Not.
Okay.
Hello. If you go around smashing mirrors,
They will have to deal with consequences.
you're going to really piss off Witch and Light. And right now, they're the only people that can do anything to help us.
There is another way to force them to help you earlier. It requires quick hands. A little bit of thievery.
And what way would
Yeah,
that
like
be?
that.
Mr. Witch has that pocket watch that he always has about him. It controls the carnival. If you stole it from him, he'd probably do anything to get it back. Mr. Light has the weather vane that he always carries around like a baton. If you stole that from him, he would probably do anything to get it back.
He has a point.
I don't know. I'm kind of okay with like breaking stuff, but I don't like doing like harm to people. That's
Stealing doesn't cause harm to people.
Emotional harm to
duress.
people. Yeah, there you go. Though I am up for a little thievery.
Likewise, you could just go out, enjoy the carnival. Weren't you the 4 that already spoke to Mr. Witch and Mr. Light after doing all sorts of extravagant shit at the big top?
Maybe.
They possibly owe you one.
We'll negotiate then.
Look, I'm all on board for stealing, and if you need help causing a distraction in order to steal some shit, I'm your bird.
No poking fun at the mermaid.
All right.
And you have to give the voice back.
Maybe.
No, it's a condition.
Make a persuasion check.
19.
19? Okay, you needed to beat 12. All right, fine. I'll give the voice back. I won't like it, and I'm going to speak incessantly on the way there in as many different ways that I possibly can with this voice to try and get as many words in my repertoire. My repository of voice words. But I'll do it.
Good.
It has been some time since I last planned a heist.
Oh, so you are stealing things.
Is that the
That desperate?
consensus?
Is it really that desperate yet?
Oh, I thought we were just going to go to talk to them.
Vice shrugs. I heard thievery and just everything went out the window.
I think that thievery actually would probably be a little bit faster, but I don't know. I don't feel like being a mean person about it.
Yes, but you're willing to smash some mirrors.
Physical objects.
Mean is subjective.
You know, I've heard
Kind
of
of
more.
like good and bad.
They've already given us consent to like investigate, so like smashing stuff. You feel like it's part of the investigation.
Listen,
Feel
they
like they'll-
said so long as we caught Kettlesteam, they were going to take us on that private tour on which we were going to be able to overhear a private conversation between the two of them. So let's just see what that is first before we do anything drastic, like smashing mirrors or stealing things that belong to very powerful people that can probably turn us inside out.
What if we just confirm with Mr. Witch and Mr. Light that they can open the door and let us out after they close? And then I think I would
I
sleep a
believe
little
we'll
bit
talk to
less
Zabilba
out.
about that, and she'll get us home.
Who?
Correct?
Zabilna.
Zabilna. Sorry.
Zabilna, my patron. Powerful archfey. And archfey are basically like the gods of the Feywild. If you want a way home, and you already are planning on talking to her as to why she's not returning my calls, then yes, I feel like that would probably be...
Oh, buddy, I think it's over.
No. It's not like that. This is... Have you ever... This is like the other line, like there's like a deadline situation. It's not a like call and miss. Or like ring once disconnect.
She has a certain amount of time to get back to you.
Yes, and she hasn't.
A la sending.
I've talked to others who are also, as much as I don't like the old bastard, I talked to him as well, and apparently other of her warlocks are having a difficult time getting a hold of her. Which leads me and others to believe that something has happened to her. In which case, if something has happened to her, and Mr. Witch and Mr. Light are not doing anything about it, and are instead playing into the hands of this hourglass coven, I'm not really sure what's supposed to be going on here, except these fucks aren't doing what I need them to do, which is re-establish my patron's position in the Feywild. Do you get what I mean, bruv? I heard Mr. Light say it, and I wanted to try it once.
Oh no, I understand. It's strange to be cut off.
I don't like it.
Right. Well, we'll tell Witch and Light the job is done. They take us on this private tour. We don't rock the boat? Question mark.
Fine.
I will buy you thousands of mirrors if you need.
I don't want those mirrors.
Well,
And in return for helping this one, he gives the voice back and stops acting like a little dinkus. That sound about right?
I will give the voice back, but I make no promises as to whether or not I will continue acting like a little dingus.
In the carnival.
In the carnival.
That's fair. Lowry's
No,
gonna
dinkus around us, and I think that'll be okay.
pull a scroll out of her bag that has the terms already written on it. I'll need you to sign this, please.
I would like to read this first, thank you.
Oh,
Okay.
so you're literate. Okay.
Of course
I
I'm
figured as
literate.
much.
Now, what does this word say? It's the first word on the page.
Ah.
And what does that word say? It's the second word on the page. I think
First.
and then, like, after the first three, just, I'm fucking with you. This contract, and he reads the whole thing aloud.
And it outlines the terms that we've all discussed and what he just agreed to.
All right, and where do I put my Kenku scratch?
Oh, right there at the bottom. Here you go. You can use my pen.
They, like, dip their finger into the ink pot. And then very, like, in flourishing letters, just write Kettlesteam.
Thank you. Lowry will take the scroll back and roll it up and put it in her bag.
All right, now, as far as giving back the voice, do I have to do it myself, or could I possibly have you all do it for me?
Oh, you have to do it. That's the wording in the contract.
Butts, okay. If I must.
You must.
Now, may I be untied from these rather loose knots?
What's the safe word?
Pineapple.
Shink.
My rope.
It seems like you have plenty more rope now. With 2 sets of 25.
Just start wrapping it up like.
If you tie them together, they'll be 50 again.
Don't even talk to me.
All right. Well, chapasses. It's been good getting to know all of you. I'll be on my way.
Toodles.
Au revoir.
It's a reservoir.
Reservoir.
There you go.
And
As
Kettlesteam just sort of
I
like
would
begins
like to-
backing away from the cart.
Before
Yeah, as
they
he-
do, I'd like to sleight of hand one of Lowry's teeth that I traded for into their pocket.
Ooh. That's sly.
Okay, roll a sleight of hand.
Come on, Pamferdam. God damn it.
D&D Beyond, you wanna give me the results of that? There it is. Okay, 8.
8. So what do you think you're doing?
I'll put this in your pocket real quick. Just
The fuck is this? Kenku pulls out the tooth.
Did you just give him my tooth?
yeah, I just want to like make sure you had something in your pocket.
Wait,
Yeah.
no, quick question. Why do you have her tooth in your pocket?
Oh, we traded.
Oh,
I
we-
gave- I
yeah.
gave the murdered
What the fuck? Hey, look,
Would you like a different one?
do you want to, like,
I have
spy
more.
on me or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I
You
know.
already gave me his business card.
That's true. Were you trying to spy on him, Pam?
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking this through.
Oh, you don't have to do that. It's in the contract. He has to do what we told him to.
Alright.
Otherwise, the only thing he'll do for the rest of his life is cluck like a chicken.
All right. Okay. All right.
Interesting thing about the contract I signed. It did not have an expiration date. However, I am a bird of my word. And I will go and take care of this thing. Reservoir. And he
Move right
bows.
now.
Au revoir, you dink. Ah, whatever.
Oh, I really hope it sticks. I can't wait.
Respirator.
But
See, the key to a good contract negotiation is to put the consequences in the very fine print. No one ever reads that.
Yeah, you
Oh.
can only get like 2 or 3 sentences into a contract before I just click I agree.
Hmm.
You can't use Apple products in weapons of mass destruction. That's literally in there.
All right,
Okay,
so your
well,
Kenku companion has a reservoir.
Head over to Witch and Light.
And when you get there, you see that it is just Mr. Witch. Mr. Light seems to be off doing something or other. Hello.
So,
Hello.
Witch,
Yes.
the deed is done.
Oh, excellent. Good. Good job. Good job. Yeah, I trust that it wasn't too difficult.
It's kind of annoying.
That's what
Copy
we
of that.
found, yes.
Have we got a copy of that contract?
It's in my bag.
No, you have to sign those in triplicate.
Not
It's
this
not
one.
picking up your audio.
God, I don't know what's going on. Would you mind showing it to the good man?
Oh, certainly. Lowry will take it out of her bag and with a flourish, bloop, it unravels.
And Mr. Witch takes out a small set of spectacles and sets them onto his nose and reads it over. This is lovely paperwork, truly magnificent. Who taught you how to write?
My boss.
You write just like a fae.
Thank you.
And he rolls it back up and hands it to you. Contracts are powerful things here in the Witchlight Carnival. I assure you that this Kettlesteam will take care of this problem. And if they do not, we have ways of completing the contract.
Fun. So, hypothetically speaking, if you were to go for a walk, what's the perfect time to do so?
Well, I will be taking a walk of the carnival after, of course, the Witchlight Monarch has been chosen, which at this point is roughly 2 hours away. You probably, if you're looking for something to do in the meantime, have enough time for a few of the other rides and attractions that we have here before, well, we determine who is most suited to be the monarch.
I had a question real quick.
Yes.
Once you close the circus, like, can you still open pathways like out into the material plane, or is it like actually locked the door forever for 8 years?
Well, we return to this plane every 8 years. We travel other places as well.
Right, but like, is there like a way to the material plane in between its 8-year rotation, or like, are you just stuck on the circus train?
I'm not sure. I've never gone to Prismere myself. Travel between the Feywild and the material plane is, from my research, from what I've heard described, can take anywhere from mere seconds to years. It really, truly depends on how long you stay there.
I want to stay here.
Well then, for your sake, I hope it takes seconds.
Alright, well, I didn't exactly get the answer I was looking for, but I didn't get a yes, so that brings me a little bit closer to ever surmounting impatience. Alright, thank you.
Hypothetically, if someone were to walk into the Hall of Mirrors without punching their ticket, and the carnival was about to leave, would they be returned before the carnival left?
Possibly. It really depends.
On what?
Things we are not allowed to discuss.
What if you just like quit for 5 minutes and then you can just like get rehired back?
Oh. There's too much paperwork for myself to fire myself for all of 5 minutes and then go through the lengthy hiring process. To lose this carnival would be to lose what joy I get in this life. As you can see, I am ecstatic.
You seem very jolly.
The only individual here who takes more joy than I do at the carnival's existence is Mr. Light.
Well, I know where I wish to spend the rest of my time.
Yeah. Alright.
Any other questions?
Yeah, just one. Just out of curiosity. Never really had the chance to ask before. You wouldn't happen to know how I got here, would you?
Why, I do. A cart rolled in. Smelled delicious coming from it. An old woman came out. Asked if we were interested in hiring on a strapping young fellow who seemed to have lost his way. We said yes, of course. You came out of the cart. The bowl of soup had noodles in it. You seemed to be just finishing up. You looked rather confused, but content. The woman got back into the cart. Said that she would see you around.
I do like noodles. Thanks, Witch.
Of course.
Did the old person have a name?
If they did, I don't know the truth behind it.
I don't understand that.
That's just fable shit. Like, don't worry about it.
Okay.
They probably didn't give a real name if they gave one at all.
All right, let's go see if that bird's clucking.
Okay. So yeah, you guys leave Mr. Witch, who bids you adieu. And as you make your way back over to the Hall of Illusion, you see, or rather, you hear a familiar voice at this point. Just, come one, come all, and welcome to the Hall of Illusion. And you look and you see Candlefoot. Large arms, beckoning people to come over. And make sure to stay away from the statue of Tasha, lest you're looking for a laugh. Oh! Dearest friends, Clout! Lowry! Two of you who I have not had the pleasure of being introduced to.
You need to apologize to your girlfriend.
Yeah, Clout's
What?
gonna walk up to him and like wave his hand in front of his face, looking for a beak.
What are you doing? I'm right here.
Just making sure that it's actually you, and then just sort of tweak his nose and pat his cheek.
You'll never guess this. There was a young, strapping man who came up to me and said that he had found something that he thought belonged to me, and I didn't know what that meant. But then he ended up pulling out what looked like a corn husk that had like a rope around it, a thing I'd never seen before. But when he handed it to me, instinctively I said thank you, but then rather than just my hand moving down from my face in a thank you-like fashion, I actually said the words, almost like a cap over my mouth had been removed. And the young man seemed to chuckle to himself in a bird-like sense that I am not really sure how else to better describe, and then they ran off.
Good. I'm
They
glad
went
they
like
upheld their
chicory chicory chi or something like that. I really wasn't paying attention. I was very focused on my... Why do I have to apologize to Palasha?
The person who had your voice heckled her. It didn't go well.
Oh, fuck.
She was in tears.
And did
That's
it show early?
great. That's fantastic for me. So, Clout, you were saying that your day's fucking terrible.
Yeah, no, you are. You're starting to win in the old terrible day contest. Let's see what we can do about that. If you want to go talk to her, I'll cover for you for a bit.
That would be cool. Thanks.
Yep.
And
Always
when
like
they
the
say
candy.
thanks, their head just steadily turns just oh fuck, as they just like speed walking over towards the Silver Lake.
Oh, my poor
Yeah.
friend.
He's a sweet guy.
Very much so. Okay, I'm going inside and you don't
Great,
get to punch
yeah.
my ticket.
Just follow it, Lowry in. Pull out a little tinker hammer from my toolkit.
Be careful in there.
Okay.
Vice pats Clout's shoulder twice and follows them in.
Clout's just gonna sigh again, and then he's gonna pull out a closed sign and put it in front of the door.
Closed for maintenance.
Yeah, and then wander in after them.
Okay. Sounds good. So the four of you are going to be spending the next 2 hours just breaking shit in the Hall of Mirrors.
Well, first we're going to see if walking in without getting our tickets punched is enough. Because they said that
Hello?
because the halfling went in without getting his ticket punched, that's why the hag showed up.
Okay, but Wings wants to know what everybody looks like as a baby child.
What does everybody's young people form look like?
Lowry's a little girl with long brown hair. Just very, very generic. Came with the frame child.
Vice is a about small child size. He's holding a bundle, and his horns haven't come in yet.
Can I actually say give you something for Vice?
Go ahead.
But
Vice doesn't look any different.
Oh,
that's
right.
Vice just looks like Vice as he is.
That's
Different
fun.
shirt.
baby for you. Clout is a little lanky.
Wait, can I?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
It's a pile of ooze.
Weird. Clout's a little lanky guy with a missing tooth and a black eye, and he looks really grumpy.
Pamferdam looks roughly 8 years younger, with a much brighter face, way less bags under their eyes, and has a little school kid uniform on, little mage's college kind of thing.
Okay.
I mean, this is a fun house, right? With,
Yeah, funhouse
all
mirrors.
all kinds
Mhm.
of different mirrors. What do the other mirrors do? I'm assuming.
No, they're
that-
all this stretchy, wide, but your image in the mirror is just child. Except
in
Vice,
all-
apparently, who is
in
either
all of
ooze
them?
or himself.
baby child in every mirror.
Yep.
Oh,
Diagonal child?
Vice is
Well, I
gonna.
really looked pretty good before I came to this place.
Vice is gonna stop in front of a mirror, take his ticket out, and just tear it in half.
No, your wings!
Yeah, the wings still on your back.
Oh, okay.
You don't see anything.
So it's not that you don't have your ticket or ticket punched. Something else.
yeah. Well, I haven't had a ticket in all day.
You work here.
Well, I don't anymore.
Not until the morning, at least.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Lowry's
That's a pretty good thing.
Lowry's gonna go up to the mirror that she saw that person pass through before and just check it out and stare at her reflection as a child.
Your child reflection just staring back at you.
Lowry,
Hmm?
that person who got pulled in, what else were they doing?
Crying. They were looking at themselves in the mirror.
Huh.
Having a terrible time. I hate it here. I want to go home. I want my brain back. I want to fix my brain. I'm sad now. Alright, dang.
Probably alone, too.
They were.
But you were alone in here earlier.
Yes. Well, technically they weren't alone. I was in here watching them.
I don't know. These three thieves, they're strange. Strike at random. Like, I doubt that they would
Track it
steal in
random.
the same place.
You just start, like, when you hear, like, strike at random, you just, like, break a mirror that Lowry's not near.
Don't step over here. There's a lot of broken glass on the ground now.
Can Clout take that hammer away?
That is
Oh,
entirely up to
yes.
Pamferdam.
No, I need it for stuff.
Put it back in immediately, like, seal the bag.
Clout's just gonna look at Pamferdam and say, pineapple.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Can I insight check what's going on?
Yeah.
RJ's brain go burr. And so apparently is Vice's 14.
A 14. From what Clout was saying, and from what you've gathered, there are obviously thieves, but they... If you were, say, a thief, and you knew that somebody was trying to find you, would you then return to a place you've already gone to?
Nope.
You don't... You get the feeling like you might not be able to find the pig mask girl here. And as you're coming to this realization, there is a zipping noise followed by a bright light and a ding 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 that appears
Oh,
towards
right.
you, Clout. And Whisper starts like glowing at you.
Thanks,
And-
Whisper.
Communes to you that they have found a Kenku.
Thank you,
Lord
Whisper.
bless.
You're truly a treasure, and I don't know what I'd do without you.
Vice turns... Go ahead.
They just like bling ding ding, like they're just like very excited. Yeah.
Fork in the garbage disposal. Vice turns to the rest of the party. If they are truly thieves of this carnival, they will not hit the same place twice. I don't think they'd use the Hall of Illusion, or this place, again to kidnap someone.
Okay, so we gotta do crimes in a different spot then? What if we break a swan boat? Or a dragonfly ride?
I don't think it has anything to do with breaking anything in the carnival. I believe they are targeting people who are low on joy, as it were.
Well, I'm pretty heckin' stressed out now. Does that count? Like, is that the type of anti-joy we're looking for?
Perhaps. Conditions: no joy, no ticket.
Makes sense. I doubt people without tickets would contribute to the overall sense of joy in the carnival in a tangible sense. the way that they keep on talking about. So,
Yeah, that's how I lost stuff the first time.
and people who are down are going to bring down the mood of the carnival anyway. So those would be the ones you'd want to get rid of.
Right. So we need to be unhappy somewhere that isn't here.
Perhaps.
We'll have a really not fun dragonfly ride.
Which one of you is the meanest?
Looks at Clout and Vice.
Oh, I'm plenty nice.
Listen, I just work here. Guess I don't anymore. How mean you need me to be?
Very. Come on. Lowry's gonna grab Clout by the hand and pull him away. And let's see, we're at the Hall of Illusions.
You are at the Hall of Illusions. So to the south of where you are, there is snail racing and the mystery mine, as far as places that you have not gone to, as well as the Pixie Kingdom and the Bubble Pop Teapot.
So, the plan to get them to appear is to be as unhappy as possible and ruin the joy of the carnival, right?
Somehow this feels like a bad idea, but yeah, I guess that's the one we came up with.
Lowry is going to go about directly across from the Hall of Illusions because there's not really a attraction there. Is that is that supposed to be the entrance?
Towards
Area?
Across from snail racing is the entrance to the Pixie Kingdom.
Okay. Like going around the figure 8.
Yeah, going around the figure 8.
Other side of the bubble teapot.
The Bubble Pop Teapot is the entrance there, or you can go through like a back area to get to the Pixie Kingdom as well.
Okay. Lowry will drag Clout over that way. Be mean to me.
What? Be mean to you?
Yes, be mean to me and be loud about it.
What?
Pick a fight. Right now.
I don't.
Yeah, punch
I.
it.
Girls.
What? You're saying you can't pick a fight with me because I'm a girl?
What?
That's sexist.
No, it's not.
Right?
It's not because you're a girl. It's just that people are gonna look at me funny if I do pick a fight.
They'll be mad and stuff.
Let
Fun
alone
fact.
Them out.
with a girl.
Fun fact, Cloud. People look at you funny if you lose to a girl as well. This is a no-win.
Okay,
Look.
no, I'm not even supposed to be picking a fight with you,
Fight,
but
fight.
Vice just steps back, leans against a post, and crosses his arms.
Lowry's gonna pick a very loud fight with Cloud.
As you do, there is a jingling of bells, and you see a brightly colored individual with a weather vane in hand. Just, all right, bruv, is there a Hey, Clout, what? Look, I know that you're not supposed to pick fights with people until the morning, but like, could you not do it right now? Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am, that this is. Oh wait, no, you two are together. What are you trying to do here?
Oh, no. This is all a part of the plan. You see, 2 people went into the Hall of Illusions that weren't having a good time and they went missing. So we're going to try and get them back. But in order to attract the people who took them, we have to cause a bit of a disruption.
Oh, you
Hope
could just
understand.
wait like a couple hours and we could just like send you there.
That's what I said!
Fight.
This is more fun.
This might be fun for the 2 of you. However, as a main proprietor of the Witchlight Carnival, there are some onlookers towards this that are not looking like they are having a good time at my carnival. If it is at my carnival, if it was your carnival and you're looking to have a quiet Clout, if you were at your carnival and you were looking to have a bad time, Bob's your uncle. Go for it, bruv. But if you're looking to have a bad time at my carnival, I suggest you do it outside, where it's not going to draw attraction to people who might think that coming back to this carnival when we return in 8 years would be a bad idea. Repeat customers, they're the ones who bring the coin.
So what you're saying is that where you're planning to not technically lead us to, but also kind of sort of lead us to, is where we'll find that couple that went missing.
If there were individuals who went missing at this carnival that you say happened around a specific place that may or may not involve illusions, then my guess is that you will find them in a place that I may probably not be leading you to later on this very evening in about an hour and a half's time.
Okay, that's acceptable. I apologize for the broken mirror. Thank you, everyone, for
Wait, what?
Thank you, everyone, for coming to our new showing of our work in progress. Please don't yell at me like that. You're making me cry. It'll be here in another 8 years.
They don't work here. They don't work here. He's recently fired. He like points towards Clout. And at that
Lowry
point,
just starts
like,
clapping.
the bubble teapot just. Clout, no. Like, they're like, wait, no.
I love how everyone secretly likes Clout, and they're just finding out as we go through this place that he's fired.
Down the
Still
mood in so many
accidentally making
ways.
Everybody have a bad time.
I'd like to try one thing while this debacle's going on.
Sure.
As Vice is leaning against the post, he's closing his eyes and, like, just concentrating on a singular memory.
Which memory?
Right before he died the first time.
Okay.
It is a memory where it slowly goes dark around him and he is staring out at two people with a hand outreached. And it's one of the saddest memories that he has. To bring his overall mood down.
Okay. Make a constitution check for me.
Make a sad boy roll.
RJ has proficiency in sad boy rolls. God.
Trained my whole life for this.
19.
A 19. So, as you are focusing on this memory, hand outstretched, remembering the first time that you died, when you open your eyes again, as you're staring off and you're seeing Mr. Light talking to Clout and, like, he's fired, and, like, explaining that to the crowd, like, this guy does not work here anymore. And you're watching, like, Clout's former coworkers just like, oh, what? No, Clout, no! Like, that kind of thing. Through the crowd of people, holding a oversized lollipop, you see a gray-skinned young girl, long black hair, pig mask, that is just standing in the crowd looking at you as members of the crowd go by. And as you look at her, you hear something. You hear a faint voice ask you a simple question. What regrets do you have?
Under his breath, he just says, oh, so many.
Find me. The easiest way to find is to follow.
And at that, you see the young girl in the audience turn and begin walking.
Pushes off the pole, walks over to Clout and just puts a unsteady hand on his shoulder. He's like rubbing the bridge of his nose. Well, I saw the pig girl.
What?
Walked off into the crowd over there. Said the easiest way to find her was to follow.
What did you do?
Remembered something sad.
Alright, I think you just put yourself in a lot of danger.
Oh.
And he, like, gives you a look that says, like, I'm fucking serious. Don't, like, Don't joke around with me.
No, that gave me very bad vibes, Clout. I did not like that at all.
What do you want to do?
Well, since these two eager beavers want to deal with the situation pronto, we should probably follow.
All right, fine. Your funeral. He's gonna go over to Pam and Lowry.
Like I said, it wouldn't be my first. Your funeral.
Like hand on Lowry's shoulder, hand on Pam's shoulder. Vice found something. Let's go.
What was that, Sarah?
Wonderful.
Okay. So, Vice, you have this like internal, it's almost like a compass feeling where like you know where to follow this individual. And as your group continues through the crowd, they are taking you south along the lefternmost side of the lower 8, and you end up stopping directly in front of a large marquee that says The Mystery Mine. And you see, propelled by magic, minecarts laden with fairgoers trundling into an opening carved like a dragon's mouth. The carts reappear moments later on the far side of the attraction, with the passengers expressing a mixture of bewilderment, fear, and excitement. Near the entrance, a male dwarf dressed like a wizard shouts, "Unlock the mysteries of your mind in the Mystery Mine!" He has bushy eyebrows, wears a pointy hat, and holds a large clockwork contraption shaped like a giant eye.
Oh, shit. I ripped up my ticket.
All right, more crimes. Let's go.
Excuse me. Can I just quickly run to the ticket booth?
Yeah, it's 2
drop
silver.
3 silver. Yeah, grab it, run back.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Zafixo, and this is the Mystery Mine. Looks like you all have enough for a fair working through a cart. Would you like to take a travel?
What are we going to expect in the Mine of Mystery? Was that a mystery?
That is the mystery indeed, and he motions with his clockwork staff.
4, please.
All right. So there are, so it is going to be the 4 of you, and then there are going to be 2 other individuals. And the 2 individuals that are sitting on the back of the cart are, it looks like the dads of the 2 young kids that were getting to know each other previously in the Big Top Extravaganza have decided to take the Mystery Mine together in order to like talk to each other about the future of this kind of thing.
I slowly turn and dead-eye him for a second.
Where are your kids?
All right, they went off on the swan ride, so we figured that we had a little bit of time to talk about, just suss each other out. Yeah, I kind of want to know what this guy's all about. He seems rather nice.
Did Pamferdam just say that they're bad parents?
Okay.
And I just turn around.
Okay, so the 6 of you, the 4 of you, and the 2 others get onto the track, and as the track propels forward, it enters into the dragon's mouth. Now, as the cart launches itself into the track, there are a series of forms that begin to shape themselves as the cart twists and travels around as it increases its pace. The first thing that you end up seeing is what looks like in the space above you, what looks like a large squid that seems to be reaching its tendrils down to try and wrap around the cart. And as it does, the tendrils begin to twist and wrap and turn themselves into a wicked spiral that seems to come down over the track itself. As it does, the track begins to spiral with it. And as the cart levels out onto a steady stretch, there is a... I'd actually, for each of these, for the first one, for the spirals and the giant squid, I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw.
No.
Fine.
What is it versus?
This is versus the ride.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good at these. 21.
16.
I got a 7. Don't worry, guys. This isn't real.
19.
Okay, so, Clout, you are terrified, and you seem to be the only one. I've
never actually written this thing.
As the cart levels out at the bottom, and propels straight forward, the cart seems to go through what looks like a rusty wrought iron gate. And at the end of this gate, as it opens, you see painted against a moonlit hillscape, a impossibly looking dilapidated castle that seems to have bats that fly down from the castle's keep and form into the shape of a villainous looking woman, strong sword at her side, who smiles wickedly at all of you as what looks like the powers of sheer darkness seem to radiate from behind her. I need another set of wisdom saves. Except from Clout, who is already going to be frightened.
Is this magic?
This is a magical effect inside of this card, yes.
Okay, so I have an advantage because I'm a gnome.
23.
21.
2.
Okay, cool. Clout, or Vice, you are also frightened, this time by none other than Stradvan Zarovich. As the cart levels and as this individual raises up their cloak, and that seems to swallow the cart whole, it goes down deeper and deeper underneath this area and then levels out again. Hey, Lowry, what is your biggest fear that is then put on display for the rest of our fairgoers?
Me.
Huh. I suppose it would be my old party coming back.
Okay. Lowry, you see your old party coming back, but they are not themselves. Instead, it seems like they have had their bodies riddled with what look like deep roots that are coming from these kind of yellowish looking flowers. They seem like they are not their own, and you feel that if you were to try and get a hold of them to speak with them, they would not listen. And they have one thing in mind, and that is to get you to join them, as it were. I would like for Pam and Lowry to make some wisdom saves.
D&D Beyond, you betrayed me. That's a 10.
A 10? Okay.
And then 15.
Okay, Pam, you're the only one who seems to be... You and the two dudes in the back are the only ones having a good time.
Whoever's riding next...
That zombie person, those people seem to know you. That was really cool.
Whoever's riding next to Lowry, she just takes their arm and puts it over her face.
I would love it if that were Pam. Just this small arm. Just... All right.
Meanwhile, Clout's just got like a mom arm, like seat belted across Vice's chest.
Vice is doing the same.
All right. So, as these individuals come and shamble towards you, the cart then lurches upward to try and avoid them. And you seem to be going up a ramp slowly until it reaches a peak and then begins to tumble down. Clout, what do we see for your greatest fear?
Jesus. There is... It's... It seems weird to be in a fucking roller coaster. His greatest fear would be his sister being destitute without him. So I don't know, I guess like it's an empty house that's like, like haunted house style, like, with like lightning and stuff going on in the windows and like rain coming down. But when the lightning flashes, there's a scared looking little tiefling girl just sort of like sitting in the corner, and she's like obviously like starved and just alone and sad.
This is the part where the roller coaster seems to like be at a crawl, so it just forces you to go through this small destitute scene during this time. And then there is a flash of this lightning, the scene disappears, and you can feel your stomach's lurch as it begins a free fall. And as the cart begins to go down, it gets hot around where the four of you are, into a dry desert heat. And looking ahead of you, you can see that darkness give way to what looks like a set of large horns that seem to come up from the sand. And in the middle of it, there is just this large pyramid. And above the pyramid is a glowing gem. You feel the swirl of air around you, and you can feel almost a claw-like sensation just gently pulling at the back of your spine. Vice, you know this very well. Your greatest fear, I'm assuming, is your patron.
Yep. To be unmade and made back into something you are not.
And there is that feeling within each of you that this will happen. And there is, from the back of the cart, just
Kepris.
As Kepris the Barbarian fails his wisdom save. As that sensation pulls away, so does the imagery before you. And there is a sort of twisting sensation again as Pamferdam. You are the last one. What is your greatest fear? Or Pam's, anyways.
Putting it into a word description is difficult, but I can picture the feeling that Pam would be afraid of. So I guess there would be various scenes of dirty, hungry-looking children that are very sad, some of them crying like they're looking for their parents. There are fires in the distance and broken buildings. And every time, like, Pam's hand reaches out to any of them, they get scared or cry like I've done something wrong to them or given them something awful. And in the inability to cause these kids having duress to help them in any way is what Pam would be the most stressed about.
Okay. So, as that happens, make a wisdom save.
Come on, wisdom save. Thank God I have advantage. Fuck! 7.
A 7. Okay. You also fail. And as this comes through, Pam, you are just left with, like, that deep feeling of regretty. As then the mystery mine twists up and out of the other side, and with all of you feeling like this sad destitution. Oh, it's a carnival! Yay! Oh, it's so fun! Lights and stuff! And like the half-orc in the back, like, slaps the other guy on his back. Just, that was insane! Like, just like having a great time. And this dude who has like this half lizard just has like 1,000-yard stare. And like he's just like looking into the back. And like you can all sort of feel that as well. Like, you know now that this was not real. It was a great time had by all.
Great time. Single tear and snot on Pam's face.
I hate this ride.
The hell do we
Vice.
have this?
Just has a hand on the back of his neck. I did not like that at all.
Hello, ride goers!
Shush. Shut. Shush, shut.
I'm very used to that reaction.
That was all fake, right? They're not really here. Right. They're not.
That
Really gonna
depends
walk out
on
of
who
there?
you saw.
Right. We should go do something else.
Well, as luck would have it, it is now time to determine the Big Top Monarch, the Monarch of the Witchlight. That should have been all of you in there. I hope you were all having a great and fun and fantastic time.
A quick aside with Clout. Vice just leans over. She's alright, you know.
What?
Walks away.
Glaring, bewildered.
Monarch time! Remember the Monarch?
Remember the Monarch! Yay!
No, butterflies.
Okay, so I know that we're getting towards the end of our session, but I would like for us to get this part and then the next little bit done, just so that way we can start off the next session in a good place, away from this godforsaken carnival.
Get me out of here.
Okay, so you are all able to then go to the Big Top, where once again streams of people are leading in, and previously, as you had seen, where it is just filled to the brim with as many people as you can also see just the beginning suns of twilight, that early morning light beginning to happen off in the distance. It seems like the time at the carnival has almost come to a close. Now, as you are all inside of this carnival, you're able to shake off that like yucky, don't like this feeling, because I read the rules wrong on how that ride worked. So don't worry about the frightening bits. Y'all are good. So as you get into as you once again get into the Big Top, you can see that it is filled with people who, bleary-eyed, have just been like riding the high of being at a carnival that happens all throughout the evening, but they have been having a blast while doing it. Now, at this point, it is a joyous zeal that seems to be happening through, and Mr. Witch and Mr. Light once again, or I guess Mr. Light once again comes out into the main thoroughfare. And as he comes, Mr. Witch states,
And now it is time for the final mark as our carnival draws to its sad end. I know, each and every one of you here has a desire to come back tomorrow, but sadly, our carnival is one night only. Sorry, bruvs. But there's a way where you can carry this carnival with you wherever you go. And that, my dear friends, is to become the monarch of our carnival. That which has brought us all here together today. Now then, is there anyone among you who feels as though they are deserving of the crown?
and as he says this, he flourishes his hand, and then in the palm of his hand is a crown of golden butterflies that simply rests, but it looks like it has a little bit of life to it, almost like there is, like the gold itself seems to flow within the crown, and there are cheers and people going like, ooh, ooh, me.
We are going to pick 3 individuals, and then you all will cheer to determine who is best suited to be the monarch. Does that sound fair to everyone?
And the crowd like again, like bleary-eyed, like, yes! I love this fucking carnival! Like, they are having a great time. And he motions with his hand and points, and a spotlight drops down, and you see it is on an older-looking woman who just has the most, like, flat face, like, flat expression, rather, sitting next to this individual that has, again, like, lizard skin on the side of his face, and he's just like, oh, you got it, yay. I believe in you, Irina. And she's just like, shut up, Gefris. And she stands up and, like, walks out into the crowd, and is just, like, this, like, unamused individual. And then he makes motions with his arms again and points. And this time you see blonde hair, excellent chin, beady black eyes, just two hands raised up in the air. Ham! Like, just cheering his own fucking name as this spotlight comes down. And without even question, they stand up and go out into the crowd. And then Mr. Witch does a little shimmy jiggle as he's shaking his hands, turns on a hand, and then points in your crowd, in your group's direction, and Lowry, a spotlight falls directly onto you.
Yay!
Come on up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and all others in between. From these three individuals, you all know the drill. Cheer your loudest to determine who is worthy of the crown. Our first guest, what is your name?
Irina Bellevue.
All right, Irina. Who thinks Irina should be the monarch?
And, like, the crowd is, like, mostly silent, except for, like, one just like, you got this, yay! Come on, kids! And, like, there's, like, a small little section.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that. If I had known, really, I thought it might try and, you know what, that's fine. All up for, what is your name? Ham!
And, like, individual races, and there's, like, a general, like, woo, yeah, that guy seems really enthused about saying his own name, yeah! And, like,
And as we've already seen as part of this lovely performance,
Sliding out
the
skeleton pants.
fantastic, the wonderful, say your name, please.
Lowry Moon.
Lowry Moon, everybody!
and the crowd just fucking loses their shit.
Well, I
There's
think...
a high-pitched whistle from our direction.
And,
wanna
like,
say that-
even Irina's just like,
I want to say
I
that
didn't want to be
Clout's
here.
arms are crossed at first, like, I'm not going to participate in this. And then, like, when everybody starts clapping for Lowry, he just sort of shrugs, starts clapping, and he's going to cast Thaumaturgy so that there's, like, a rumble through the crowd, so it feels like everybody's stomping their feet.
Okay. So, as the other two individuals, Ham and Irina, are then like walk back into the crowd, and Lowry, you are there. From the sides, you see three clowns that are just like throwing glitter everywhere, like they are just having a great time. Candlefoot is like pushing the giant fishbowl with Palasha in it, and you can see that like he's like has this like I'm so sorry look on his face, and she's just like not really looking at him. Like it's one of those like I got mad at you in a dream, so now like you said something nasty to me in a dream, so I'm mad at you for real now. But she is singing this like very joyous song about the monarch of the carnival, and Mr. Light raises up the crown and sets it upon your head. And as you do, Lowry, you get this like you are used to these kinds of feelings from your background in the book club. There's a certain power with being monarch. It's good to be the queen. And as you are crowned, The audience continues cheering, but it seems like that is the culminating event. And Mr. Light then says, if you could stay about 5 minutes after, then you can follow me and Mr. Witch.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Neither do I. And as such, the carnival begins to end. The song finishes. Everyone is done having a good time as the carnival comes to a close. And Mr. Witch and Mr. Light stand on either exit and are thanking folks for having come by. They mention that the clowns, as well as others, will lead them to the exits and make sure that everyone is seen out appropriately. It is at that point that Mr. Witch and Mr. Light then reconvene next to each other and loudly next to each other say,
Mr. Witch, don't you think it's time that we inspected the fairgrounds to make sure all is safe and that no individuals came to harm?
Why, yes, Mr. Light. I have it on good authority that there might be some broken glass. And he looks over in your group's direction. Over in the Hall of Illusion. Perhaps we should go and check this out.
I think you're rather right with that, Mr. Light.
And the two of them sort of like make a side eye towards your group. And then they begin traveling. And very quickly, following after them, the two of them make their way over to the Hall of Illusion. And as they do, they reach take path or like move past the closed for maintenance sign that seems to have just sort of stayed there. The carnival was close to closing and they didn't feel like trying to find a replacement mirror at this point. And they let themselves in with the four of you in tow. And as the two of them enter in, they say,
well, I hope nobody decides to come in after us. It would be a shame because I seem to have misplaced my key to lock the door to this Hall of Illusion. But that's just me, clumsy old Mr. Light.
Yes, I also seem to have forgotten my key, and we have no way of locking this door behind us as we enter into the Hall of Illusion. If only there was... Hopefully no one decides to follow after us as we make our brief inspection. And the two of them enter into the Hall of Illusion. And again, leaving the door slightly ajar. And they continue walking into the hall, and with your group following after them. And as you arrive, it is a large mirror that is here. And this mirror seemed to be sort of like in a back area, more of like a half circle. It didn't have a whole lot of other mirrors around it. Lowry, you just thought, yeah, it looked nice, but like, that's not the mirror where like the young pig mask girl came from. And the two of them move through the Hall of Illusions. You see their reflections in the mirrors show them as gloomy Shadarkai children, with your own youthful reflections following behind. Soon, they come to a halt, and the mirrors now reflect everyone's true age. Mr. Witch then addresses, or rather whispers to nobody in particular, "Everything you seek and more lies beyond this mirror. If you mean to step through, then stand in front of the glass and repeat this rhyme. Hither, thither, here and there, wander, yonder, show me where." And as he says this, the mirror that he stands in front of seems to get almost like a liquid-like texture to it. And he looks at Mr. Light and says, "Well, I believe our inspection has come to a close. We will get Candlefoot to clean up this glass rather quickly, wouldn't you agree?"
Yes, I would. So if anyone's still here in roughly 10 minutes or so, Candlefoot will have a thing or two to say to them. But thankfully, no one followed us in that I was able to see.
And the two of them exit. And leaving this mirror with this kind of liquid-like texture in front of you all.
Well then,
So, through the looking glass?
Ah,
and whatever's beyond. Who'd like to do the honors?
This is going to be fun.
Just like excitedly walk forward and just start walking through.
Okay. And as you do, mist sort of swirls around you, and it blots out your reflection as almost like Stargate, where like you go through and then it like has like the splashback and then like solidifies itself, and it looks like it's a standard mirror once again.
That looks like fun. Runs through.
Okay. And you repeat the rhyme of hither, thither, here and there, wander yonder, show me where. Once again, Stargate through the mirror.
Age before beauty?
Clout just like says, "You go through. I need a minute."
Gets the rhyme and steps on through.
Okay.
Cloud will just sort of like look back through the hall of mirrors, and he's got kind of like, I don't know, a nostalgic look on his face. And he just like his eyes fall on the broken glass on the ground. And he says, "Yeah, sorry about that, Candy." And then he steps through the mirror.
Okay. Before you do, Clout, standing in the shadows of this room, you see Mr. Witch and Mr. Light look at you and then say, we would never be able
to tell it to one of our employees. But if a random bystander were to hear, perhaps it's something that they should remember.
Yes. Specifically, to remember the rule of 3.
And also to find the alicorn and free the dormant queen at last.
Remember the rule of 3, find the alicorn. Oh, God.
No matter.
This is the wrong person to pick for this kind of thing. God. And he like just starts repeating it to himself over and over again as he goes through the mirror.
Okay. And as you step through that mirror, that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this wonderful session of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm so happy that we could finally play after so many weeks having taken them off. And I'm sorry that we have to take next week off, but I'm having a minor surgery next week, so I'd rather take some time to recover on that one. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's going to be a great time, because I always have a great time whenever these folk are on the channel. RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, my name is RJ, and you can catch me at rjustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and sometimes stream with my pals. I go live and retweet whenever I go live, so if you want to keep up to date, see me there, DanaeKeener.com. I gotta go blow my nose.
I guess that means it's my turn. Hey, everybody, I'm Sarah. You can find me on the interwebs everywhere as TheHypeGoblin, or if it's an Instagram, it's TheHypeGoblin_, where I do cosplay things of my D&D characters and try to make people laugh and feel fun. You can find me here on Twitch 2 nights a week playing video games with rjustice282. Sometimes we talk Danae Keener of DanaeKeener.com into playing with us as well. And you can also find me here currently 1 night a week, soon to be 2 nights a week, playing TTRPGs with my friends over on my channel under the HypeGoblin. DanaeKeener.com.
And howdy, y'all. I'm Mediaflare, voice actor and tabletop streamer. If y'all want to find me, you can find me over at Mediaflare on Twitter or Mediaflare on Twitch. I'm looking forward to the new year. I have quite a lot of new streams planned, so stay tuned. DanaeKeener.com.
Speaking of DanaeKeener.com, hi everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me at Danae Keener on Twitter. I've got a pinned tweet there that says all the things that I'm up to. You can go there and see all of the streams that I am in. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know when we're going to get Thursdays back up and running, so I'm just not going to keep saying that like I do at the end of every session that I have for the last 3 months, and then nothing's happened on those Thursdays. So we also have this show at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's a great time. We got our homebrew campaign. We got this one going on. And of course, we are going to be getting something up and running soon on those Thursdays, but that's more of a work in progress. But if you enjoyed this show, you can find VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point at youtube.com/indooradventures, or you can go towards anywhere audiocasts are made available for free. But speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, you can feel free to join us on the Discord, the link to which is in the Twitch chat to the side, or in the video or in the description of this video or audiocast down below. And of course, that Patreon is again patreon.com/indooradventures. However, we are going to be heading out there, so I'd just like to say once more, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week, and we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.